Prologue. The Most High of Kalhara looked at his visitor. "This is most irregular. What you propose is possible, but forbidden." The Magister replied, "I realize that, Your Holiness. That's why I've come to see you. I need your permission to perform the rite and to provide a cleric who can do it." "You would deny Kalhara some souls. She doesn't like that, you know. If you deny her these, she will demand some others in recompense. That is the way." The Magister looked the Most High in the eye. He held the gaze of the other as he told him, "It will not be for all time." He held up a hand as the Most High opened his mouth to speak. "I cannot say for how long these souls will be denied to Kalhara," he went on. "It may be a few years, or it may be millennia. Your Holiness, I have had a dream. Sometime in the future, these souls will be returned. Please, grant me permission to perform the rite." The Most High looked at the Magister, and then he rose. "I will go and commune with the goddess. If she permits it, I will grant you both your requests, permission to perform the rite, and a cleric to perform it. I believe it requires both a cleric of death and a mage." With that, the Most High of Kalhara, goddess of death and underworld, left the room through a door obscured by a black curtain. They carried the body of their king across the land and over the mountains until they reached the place he had asked to be his final resting place. High mountains surrounded a deep, forested valley with a steaming lake in the bottom. Warm water fed the lake from deep within the volcanic mountains. It had been the king's favorite place in the entire world, albeit not in his own lands. Here he had met his true love. She was not mortal, but his love had been reciprocated, and he wished to be near her in death. They buried their king in a burial mound that they prepared, and then they built 2 towers, one on each side. They interred their king with due ceremony, even though only 14 of them came to the funeral. The Magister had half expected a 15th, but then she may have been watching from hiding. The king had loved this shy nymph above all others, and had decreed he should be buried near her. Then he looked at the others. "Are you all ready?" the elven Magister asked the assembled young warriors. "Yes," they chorused. He looked round the group of 12. They were so young. He had asked for volunteers, and they were all more than eager. At least, at the beginning. Now, 1 or 2 of them seemed more than a little afraid. Not that he could blame them. He had asked a very frightening thing of them. He noticed trembling in the youngest of them. A lad of only 16 turns of the sun, and yet he had volunteered readily enough when asked. The old elf sighed. Better give them one last chance to change their minds. He hoped that not too many did, or maybe there would not be sufficient for the task. Certainly, the tome in which he had found the ceremony recommended 12, but maybe fewer would suffice. There is no censure to any who wish to change their minds. It is a fearsome thing you are volunteering to do. One member of the group looked at the youngest. "Are you all right, Bry?" he said. "No one will think you a coward if you withdraw." "Maybe not, but I will," replied the young man. "I said I'd do it, and do it I will." "So be it," the mage said. "Form the circle." The 12 young men formed a circle around the mage and the cleric of Kalhara, who had also accompanied them on their journey. They drew their weapons and knelt, sword tips on the ground and hands clasped over the hilts. They bowed their heads.